All right, go.
Welcome back to another episode of Talks with Wine, guys. I am your host, Marley.
I am Kamaya.
I am Tamara, I believe. your turn and your introduction she said. I am. I'm like, damn, lady.
Got the puffer coat on.
Right.
Like,
she ready to
like
She ready to go.
No.
Old school Kim.
No, she's Solange from up here and Cardi from down here.
Well, no, what it is it's a mixture of coming off of the ways of the world. You know, coming off of, Thanksgiving Day weekend, going back into work.
Oh, so you're still lethargic. You still got the itis.
Not even the itis.
Oh,
it's just like, I honestly feel like we should have Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving Day, and Black Friday off.
We should.
Wait,
Well, I work in a hospital setting, so that
I work in finance. If Wall Street's open, I'm open.
And it's always open.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, never mind. Okay, well, it's been really good, and I'm really sorry that you ladies don't have Eve and Day and Black Friday off.
So my week was fine.
Well, no, deadass, because honestly, this is probably the first year I've ever experienced it. And so I'm just like, wow. I thought everyone else,
No.
I thought everyone
My week was
else
fine.
No.
I'm sorry.
What are we talking about today, Marley?
Damn.
We're talking about the
Your
black
week was
man.
fine? What did you do? Did you have a...
No, my week was good. Today, because I don't want to get into my week.
All right.
No.
Tamara, how was your week?
Today we are talking about the black man.
Oh.
The black man.
Yes, the black man.
The black man.
The original man.
Black brother, strong brother.
Yes, I'm never try to hurt you, cause I'm here for you. That's my shit.
Wait,
you mean so much to me.
Was that Vivian?
That was
No,
Angie.
baby, Angie Stone.
Oh.
I'm so proud of you. Yes,
My bad.
Do they make you
I
She
just
had a
remember it on
swoop.
BT,
Do
so
they
I
make you?
can't-
Do
Fair
they,
enough.
I
Do
can't
they
remember.
make you proud for it though?
Yeah,
Honestly,
for the most part.
we can get into it because the
Well,
reason I am really interested, like I love the black man, I do. I have brothers and nephews,
I would
a
hope.
nephew, and my significant other. So my question to open up the table. I don't know why you needed a drink.
I'm drinking ginger ale.
Everybody just
but let me
drink. My reason behind this episode in particular, while Tamara takes her sips,
just kidding. A
um,
little bit.
remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago at this
I don't
point?
recall.
2 weeks ago at this point, when Colin Kaepernick was invited to do his workout.
Mm-hmm.
And I only know this because, not that I'm crazy about the politics of things, but I feel like that is someone we need to be standing behind collectively. And
see, I
don't have a shoe in this fight because I don't
But-
watch football
and then I
no,
was
not
gonna
even
say-
on a football aspect. Not
But
even
also,
on a football aspect.
I should say I haven't kept up with like the
And that's
storyline.
so
I did hear,
basically-
but
I keep up
learns
with it.
me
So basically, he was invited to do a private
tryout,
workout,
right?
a workout to kind of scout him out. And I'm not even like into sports, so for me this was more about the reason behind it.
Right.
Where he gets invited, and this man hasn't worked since what, 2016, 2017?
2 years. It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years, and no
Right.
one wanted him.
So there's a difference.
There's-
There's a thing. Because his workout.
Why do you have to stack the cards?
No,
She said, I'm about to bring you the facts.
Well, because I like.
Sports center.
So you know, I'm a sports
Why?
girl.
Yes.
I like sports.
Learn sus.
I like Colin because he's a really great football player.
Right.
But I think where things are, Colin, they set up this special workout for Colin Kaepernick. And I don't want to dive too deep into this because our episode is not based on this.
It's not.
So,
But it is about black
But it's
men.
centered
But it is.
around. It's
Yes.
centered around standing behind our men.
and that's the thing. We need, if we're going to use, like, using Colin Kaepernick,
I'm
we need
gonna
to
tell you
figure out, Because what are we standing behind Colin Kaepernick for? Because are we standing behind?
I'm saying so. The reason why,
Like,
so the reason why is because
She's talking to me. She was about to. You saw the way she shuffled them cards.
I watched clips of Stephen A. Smith,
Yep.
who was going about how kind of like he should have just did it. But the only thing I remember about this Colin Kaepernick situation was that this man had made it very clear that he is not. There is no way that he's not going to take a knee until justice is brought to us, and that still stands.
Right.
And he made it very clear that he loves football and he still wants to play, but under certain conditions.
So this is the thing, and this is the thing. The NFL told him you can protest, you can do what you want to do. Now, do I think he was? Listen, here we go. Do I think Colin Kaepernick was blackballed? Yes. But right now, I feel like our protest and our advocacy right now is focused on the wrong thing.
Which would be?
Colin Kaepernick was kneeling because of what?
Police brutality. Which
Right
is
now,
still
we
happening.
are Right now, we are standing behind Colin Kaepernick because of what? Because of his initial protest, or the fact that he doesn't have a job. If Colin Kaepernick keeps protesting, in one breath he says the NFL is corrupt and they're trying to keep me out. And this is the thing, I'm behind Cap. I'm behind him. But I think we need a clearer message. Because if you're saying the NFL is such a corrupt and crooked industry, why do you want to work for them so bad? He already signed his settlement. He already signed one settlement.
But he didn't go to the workout anyways, right?
He changed the location.
Yeah, because of the stipulations that were written in
And this is my thing.
At this rate, I just feel like my man should just start his own league.
Right. And Marshawn Lynch.
But I have no,
like you said, you don't have
again,
a bone in this fight.
to be clear, America, I have
But
no
this-
shoe in this fight. My foot is back here.
And this is why
I don't.
And this is why it's, when it comes to this whole NFL boycott, it's like, I want us as a people to really be honest with ourselves. Because, I still turn the TV on and watch football. I do.
I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So many other people, if there was really
I know some
NFL,
diehard. I have diehard football fans in my family that be like, listen, I heard you with all of that and I'm there for it, but football is football. And if you like sports, that's cool. That's what's up. That works for you.
And
I
all
don't
I
give a fuck
want to
about
tell
it,
people is, if y'all really want to boycott the NFL, if you take away all the if you take away all the black players, there is no NFL.
There isn't. There is no
Can I tell you, MVP
NBA.
lineup: Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson. Those are your the fastest quarterback right now. The only quarterback to beat Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson.
His wife.
And that's the thing. So it's just like
he's a very urban white man.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, Lamar Jackson, one of the only black quarterbacks to beat Brady this season. So you get what I mean? Like, if we really want to boycott the NFL and stand behind Cap, all the other
Right,
I'm
not boycotting anything.
I never watched it in the first place, so
I'm just saying,
I'm just inclined to no longer watch it even more.
What they should do is all the other NFL players should pull out, because the league is 85% black.
I guess you would have to. Maybe he couldn't get people to do it though. We don't.
It's not that he couldn't get people to do it, because you still
can't ask people to be like, yo,
he has people behind him
because they out here killing us.
But
a lot of people, sad to say, a lot of people aren't gonna be like, oh, I feel you. I'ma just leave my $3 million
but that's the
contract on the
thing.
table.
But that's
and
the
I'm
thing.
pretty sure they get
if
more.
Enough players step back, the league has no choice but to look at what's going on. Because you got to think about it. What really happened with this protest?
But it's the same thing with the league and the same thing with people. You have to have that mindset. You have to be willing to die for the cause. If there's not people willing to die for the cause,
but that's why I said Colin Kaepernick needs to give us a clear.
And that's why I said maybe he tried to.
Make it only, but that's the thing.
Everybody hit him back like, yo, Cap, I feel you.
I don't
call in my man, baby.
I don't know if he tried, but that's the thing. I don't know if he tried, because he's still trying to get signed. He really wants to play.
That is his source of income, but I think at the end of the day, this man is still
Nike gave him a beautiful jet.
Listen, he came decked out in Nike.
No. He's
good.
He's with Nike right now.
He came straight up Nike to the workout. So,
and that's the thing. And this is another thing. God forgive me for filling in with the stereotype. Colin Kaepernick did a very black thing.
He
did a very stereotypical black thing. They sent him his notice on Wednesday. He did not send it back with his guidelines until Saturday, 3 hours before the workout. Like, this is what I need changed. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Why you wait till the day of to make your changes?
Ma'am, can we get into today's
Anyways,
conversation
let's
about...
Because when you really think about it, you're just like, homie, like...
First of all,
dive in,
I would have listened it by
Friday night.
You know what I'm saying? Friday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Give us some time to read over it and be like...
Friday morning, so you don't have a choice but to accept it by the weekend.
Exactly.
That's my deadline for everything.
Honestly, the field I work in, they will email you back in like 15 minutes. Like, hi, no, this is not going to fly. These are the requirements. I'm like,
and I get why he wanted those stipulations, because I wouldn't trust the NFL if I was Colin Kaepernick. I wouldn't trust them. Y'all want to make me look bad. So I want my own camera crew here.
Right. But
neither here nor there.
It is here and there. Because...
Oh, do tell.
Because I was getting to thinking how we had the What About, the Black Woman episode.
No,
not that actual name, but we talked about protecting the Black women and how we have men in our lives that step up to the plate and, hold it down.
What was that?
I know exactly what she's doing.
I want to ask, what does the Black man mean to you, lady?
A big black piece of chocolate.
Oh, okay. Well, mine's not chocolate, but yeah.
Yeah, you like your little caramel.
Salted caramel, it's okay.
I like
Go ahead, Tan. Answer this question.
Be real, Angie Stone with it. Everything. To be completely honest with you, everything. The other core part of being the essence of this earth. The moon, the sun, the stars.
You sound very female hotep-y. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it though. But no, for real, like honestly, because that's what I think I am. So I have no choice but to see you as my counterpart.
Right.
Because I respect you as that. So when they ask me like, what is a black man to you? You dead ass you are the original man. You are the
other part of me.
You know what I'm saying? Like you literally are the yin to my yang. Like legit shit. So that's what a black man is to me.
And that's the thing, to me, when you ask me what is a black man to me, strength. I
much of will. Tonight is a willow.
Strength, ignorance, and this is the thing. You can be ignorance can be good. Ignorance can be good and bad.
You're childish.
Ignorance can be good and bad. Because oh gosh, Tam. I wanted to just finish this up. But yeah, I think of strength, but I also think of ignorance because, the black man right now, if I'm thinking of the black men in this day and age, a lot of them don't want to believe that harm can come their way. And I feel like the black woman is the one that has to remind them on a daily, like, listen, you still.
Well, we are still the backbone.
And that's why I say, like, it's a blissful ignorance because, I have a few black men in my life that I have to remind constantly that you guys are not 5'5" anymore. In high school, you were 6'3", 6'4", big and stocky, and you were a threat.
Honestly,
that's another
you're
thing
a threat because you're a black.
That's the other thing I see it as. The black man is a threat. I see him. They're a threat.
Honestly.
Literally and figuratively.
I've been trying to negate the social context of the black man because that I don't want to fear the black man. In my mind, that is who protects me. That's who holds it down, who provides for me, who is able to take me to the levels that I don't, the levels that I may not know, and I'm able to do the same for him.
Yeah.
And
it's a mutuality.
It's hard because honestly, I saw a post earlier today that was just like, how do you feel about single mothers? And it was heartbreaking because black men stepped in on this, chiming in like, saying all these negative things, and it's like a lot of y'all know single mothers, your mother, you know, so it's like for them to not have our backs the way that we have theirs, and maybe it's just society today where we're so against each other that it's like all this negativity. But I think of strength, I think of a protector, a provider when I think of black men, because like I said, I have black men around me as well that is what they
embody that.
They embody.
So, because you see that's your connotation of what a black man is. When I feel like when you, it's an environment.
Don't get me wrong, I got some real
good
black men. But I love them the same.
But that's my thing. That's why I have to say, like, it's hard for me not to, like, when I say I see the black man as a threat, I look at it figuratively and literally, because I have to always be keep that in the back of my head that yes, this is my king, this is my provider, this is my strength. But when they leave my presence, I have to remember that that's how America sees them. That's how the world sees them. And I cannot allow, and it sucks because, you know, we don't want to think like this all the time, but I can't allow myself to forget that, hey, just call in to make sure he's okay, because you don't know what could have happened.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're not there to talk down a situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I say literally because when you look at it, like you just said, the black man is also a threat to the black woman, because some of the first people to take down the black woman and talk bad about the black woman is the black man. You just sipping
It's
away.
unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but on the more positive side, we all have black men in our lives. What role do they play for you guys?
My baby father.
Baby father.
My love, my light, my security blanket, you know, my Uber driver. No, sir.
No, all of that.
No, oh God, all those things.
All those things.
Respectfully too, like, and gratefully.
Right.
Like, deeply
gratefully, yes. Like, I mean, you picking me up today, thank you.
Thank you.
And then, like, when I take away from that, right, I look at my brothers and my uncle, and the significance my brothers play in my life, essentially, they help me strip away my ignorance to certain things, because now here I am, I'm an individual who has two younger black brothers. So it's just like in a sense of,
I assume they're black.
You know,
like
Asian too.
Two Alaskan Eskimo.
Right, like you breeding dogs.
I have two younger black brothers, and it's just like, it shows me a sense of pride when I see them in the world doing good. Like, I can say, those are mine.
Right.
Those are my brothers. You know what I mean?
But honestly, like, to counter that, I feel like I gotta say that regardless, because I gotta hold you accountable for what you're doing over there. Like, I think that, like, when it comes to, like, his role and the significance in the world, like, I think of you as, you know, my protector and everything like that, but I also think of you as my teacher. Like, and when I say that, I think of, like, my dad. Like, I think about him as a black man and me having to see all the aspects of, like, you know, one, honestly, being, like, a black dad, like, seeing you.
I didn't have that luxury. My dad passed when I was really young, so.
Yeah. And I honestly, like, I wouldn't, it is a luxury, it's a privilege, but it's also one of those things where some of those lessons would be preferred not to be learned. But it kind of is what it is.
Right.
So it's one of those things where, like, I feel like I learned a little bit of everything. I learned about, like, your shortcomings. I learned about, like, how the world treats you. I've seen him get pulled over. I've seen him be, like, you know, stereotyped. I've seen police literally, like, walk up to us, not caring that I'm with my dad. Like, dead ass not caring, and be like, you fit the description of somebody. Like, yo, legit that type of shit happening. And so, like, I see
being targeted.
Yeah, I see all the dynamics of it. Like, so the significance of, like, the black man's role in my world would honestly be, like, you know, really, really protector, really provider, like, and really, like a real beacon of strength. Like, really understanding that, like, obviously we're black women, and we have our struggle within itself. We have our struggle with them, we have our struggle with society, and the same
And
for
then
them.
we have our struggles with each other.
Right, and then and it's the same with them. But I definitely think like they are definitely big teachers of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, it's like, even when you take it back to sports, there's significance in the world. There's significance in the world. Like, Black culture is pop culture.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Black men are sex symbols. Oh, like, you get what I mean? Black culture is pop culture, and then Black men, they're the sex symbols. So like when you look, like, they're iconic beings. I wish there was a way we could separate and strip that narrative that was so
You know
into
what?
them.
In a weird way, like when you say sex symbol, I instantly think like fetishized.
And
like,
that's what I mean. I wish we could take away that.
Like, as Black people, we're constantly fetishized because it's like they want the woman with the big ass and the, you know, like those natural features.
Or just
Not
being,
even
or
like
just
a
being
guy.
chocolate, or just
Right,
being
I
like
was
guys,
just,
like, oh,
I was
he's
gonna
like
say,
built,
not
and
even
you
the
know
big
he's
ass
or just the
strong.
ability to conquer a
I was
black
gonna say
girl.
not even. I was
Right.
gonna say not even. You know, the big ass and stuff like that. I know some guys that just want a black model just to say, I have my Godiva chocolate. I know some white girl. I remember in college, girls were just like, I got a black boyfriend for the weekend. I'm like, for the weekend? For the weekend.
Like, who uses a rental site?
Like,
Niggas are us. Like, what's this
RentalBlackMan.com.
happening?
So it's just
I said niggas are us, so. What the-
Ma'am,
Well,
ma'am,
Sorry. Because that's some. Never mind.
ma'am.
I'm not gonna do it.
Anyhow,
I'm
like
not.
the black man's role to me, I don't have many memories of my father, but that is someone who took care of me. Like, he took care of the family, the times that he was around, that he took care of what he had to.
Yeah.
Then I have my brother. Like, everyone knows, people who are close to me know how tight me and my little brother are
Mm-hmm.
compared to how tight me and my older brother are. But at the
Mhm.
same time, not to say that I'm a worrywart, but every morning that I wake up, those are the first few people in my mind. Like my brothers, my nephew, my boyfriend, the people who are now departing from me. Like you said, like, I have no, you know,
You worry
Because
about
you
them.
see-
You think about,
you
like, I didn't hear from you in a few hours.
right? Like, you good? Like,
It's
you
so
didn't get
funny.
stopped, and it's sad. It's sad because
No.
we maybe we're over paranoid, but we're not, because it's like, once you depart from my sight,
I can't control
anything that
narrative.
happens for whatever reason, I don't know. And it's not even you may be in the wrong. It's you just exist.
Can I
Like,
tell you something? It was so funny because I had this conversation with me and my spouse just on Saturday. Saturday. We sat in the car and he was just like, "Yo, I really feel like you're accusing me of doing something." He's like, "Every time I leave the house and like if you don't hear from me for a few hours, you think I'm doing something." I was like, "I'm not calling you because I'm thinking you're out here doing something. I'm calling you to make sure you're still breathing."
right?
Because
you riding
anything-
around.
He's not driving around in a normal vehicle. You get what I mean? Like, when I mean normal vehicle, he's not driving around in a Toyota Prius where you can see through the windows, or a Toyota Corolla.
Right,
You know what I mean? He has a black two-door car that is tinted
Right.
and it's very low. And it's just like he's somebody that checks up on you and calls you every 15 to 20 minutes. You're sending me text messages nonstop. So when you don't call me, what happened to you? The first thing that happens
That's
to
the
me
first
is,
thing.
where are you? Because, like, let's be real. If I had a suspicion that you were doing something, trust me, I would know.
You know what's crazy? Like,
Why you popping up?
You know,
she is
you better not.
absolutely. She's absolutely.
She will.
Popping up.
I'll be right there.
I
with
just
her.
be worried that I worry, is he in a car accident? Did he get pulled over?
The
Did
craziest
another
thing about
ignorant
that is
person do
like,
something
Right.
to him?
I
That's another
definitely
thing.
like revolve those thoughts, but I also teeter with like, yo, I trust a lot in like faith and knowing that you're protected. Like, and I mean
and
that
that's where
I mean that
that's where I'm trying to
I've
be.
casted this protection over you. I mean that, like, I know that at
Every
the end of
morning.
the day, you know what I'm saying? Like,
every morning.
I know that at the end of the day, like, do I worry about your head? Of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, but because I don't want to die in fear, I don't want to like stress and worry. I legitimately feel like I'd be like, yo, listen, like, I know you're gonna leave my side, but I know you're protected because I can't see you no other way.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse
Beside me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I refuse to see you in a way. I know, you know what I'm saying? And I know
prayer every morning for
yo,
right.
and I know that there are a lot of things out here that don't make no sense. You're gonna be triggered, you're gonna be targeted. Like, it doesn't matter how much you do for me. Some people may put you in a particular light. It doesn't matter how much good everybody over here knows you as. It only takes one thing to spin it off, and everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
and everything just gets
so I just
tarnished.
like I bottle that, and that's an unhealthy coping mechanism. But I bottle that, and I rather
be healthy because I don't know if I'm doing this.
I try to channel that. I really try to channel into but the same way that I know he thinks about me, no bullshit. The same way I know he thinks about me as a black woman, leaving as a mother of his child, and he's like, yo, like, I know you out here in this world, like me being pregnant, me not being pregnant anymore, and not me being the mother, like, and I'm out here and I'm working and stuff like that. Like, I know my mental is on your head too.
Right.
So for the black man, I really appreciate that too, but it's something about the way we as black women care for you. And it's something about the way that we make sure that you're protected, and we gotta know at all times. And it's something about the way that you be mad that we be nagging, but it's dead ass not nagging.
And
That's not.
You know what bothers? Tangent. You know what gets me? When I don't call you that day to check up on you, the first thing, you mad at me? Did I do something?
Right.
I ain't here for you. Hey, babe.
You good?
You good? I ain't hear from you all day. Oh, you told me I was nagging you, so I was giving you you breathing, right? Oh, all right.
You said you wanted that.
I saw your little check-in on Snapchat. I saw where the map had you placed, so I know you're still alive.
I
don't even check for that.
I saw your snap.
I seen
You
was
alright.
good.
Look, you alright.
Right. But no.
Yeah.
That is.
That's a major thing. Like, that's an energy. That's a vibration. Like, that's like,
right.
You'll be back here when I get back here, because you don't have no choice.
Right. And then it's just like,
and if you don't, the other scary part is me feeling like, if you don't for some reason, me feeling like now I gotta roll.
Yep. Now
you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta roll. I already have a role. I already have an aligned and divine role. Mm-hmm. But if something happens to you in the streets,
I have a bigger role.
Baby.
And now I gotta turn
my resume done. My resume done got. Yo, my resume was like. like.
Okay.
Co-host the what?
Which will bring me to this. I think this is where, for me, this is personally where I'm at. Like, disassociating what social media thinks of the black man, what the media thinks of the black man, versus how I feel about my black man.
Right. I have a whole theory on this.
Go ahead, tell
us your theory.
Okay.
Okay. Come on, Tamara.
Oh my God. So, okay, no, my well, I shouldn't say theory. My thought process on like the social media as outlet and like how they view the black man, and keep in mind this is a wide scope, including sports niggas that be doing some wild things in the news, things that they may have possibly been accused of. Black, like I'm just a big scope. Celebrities, you name it. Robert. You're like,
don't bring them up. Stop it.
I'm sorry. All of them. To a certain degree, I feel inclined to believe these things are going on with my black men, because when you are a person who has sat through certain things, certain traits of what has happened to black, and I don't want to say that this is a trait of them. I honestly think that it's one of those things where it's just been
it's embedded in them.
Y'all, this is good. Generationally passed on,
right?
And it kind of becomes an inherited trait.
Yeah.
And now they think in their minds they have to fulfill a role of a deadbeat dad or whatever. There are some that obviously want to break the molds, break the stigmas, but you know that happens. But I like to think of it as like, so my job, for example, they do monthly reports and of how many things may have like been damaged or messed up coming out of our warehouse, right? So obviously I have a scale of 100. On a scale of 100%, only 7% of things have been damaged, or maybe even like 9% of things have been damaged and messed up. You have all this 91% of good, but this 9, everyone in the company is going to gang up on you and jump on you because I feel like it's easy to
focus on the negative than it is the positive.
And so you know what I'm saying. So it's like there are obviously outlets and things that are trying to break through, that are trying to, you know, if I live in Dorchester and I walk to, well, I'm just trying to relate. And I walk to Shaman in the morning. There is a program. There's a whole like building, a van service and everything. And I think it's called Dad's Lift or something like it's something. Yeah, and you guys should check it out. I believe it's called Dad's Lift. Listen, just Google.
You want people to check it out. Huh? You don't even know.
You got paid for this?
No, but I just want people to know. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things. Black men, I hear ya. These are the things that I see in my neighborhood. That made me feel good. That made me happy. It's black men on the van. They smiling. They got their kids.
I love seeing that.
And it feels amazing. I see like I've been seeing more and more programs oriented to them. So is it hard for me to disassociate? Sometimes when I'm in it and I'm reading it, yes, because I'm like, girl, I bet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be in it. But then when I step back on a grand scale and I think about the people that I associate myself with, the people that I know. And especially with how they could be reacting in the world, what they could be doing, versus what they have done and what they're doing and how they're trying to move. No, I'm grateful and I can disassociate that easily.
Exactly.
I think I've been able to disassociate it easily for a long period of time in my life, just because of the figures I've had in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I mean? Like,
I do.
And then I coached cheerleading for Pop Warner.
You better go off.
Yeah, I coached cheerleading for Pop Warner when I first moved up here.
You're a dance mom. I can totally
Mission Hill Buccaneers. You get what I mean?
Oh.
And like,
I was thinking about the story I told you last night.
Oh yeah, the Buccaneers. You get what I mean? What were the Buccaneers. I hope that was right. But this was a while back. Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah.
But some of
Bucketeers, knees, whatever.
But what it is some of the parents that would come and drop off, and I taught the little kindergartners, and the fathers, like the people who was dropping off the kids were the fathers. Like fathers were dropping off their daughters, and I've always seen that they were there at cheerleading competitions. Like you get what I mean? That's the stuff they were doing. Like I've always.
My dad was at my track meets.
Yes, I was always around. I was always around like men who were really getting their shit together.
Yeah.
And like, granted, we all know a few fuck ups, but like, I don't let one apple
spoil the bunch.
I don't let one apple spoil the bunch, and that's just because I wouldn't want someone to look at me and think of me as a typical.
And it already happens because we're black.
Yeah.
Like
so
forget black woman, man, because we're black. So
I don't put it. And then right now, in the industry that I'm in right now, if you see how many successful African American men I work with,
yes.
So it's just like,
even though they be a little
hairs
different.
No, not all of them.
Sis, I've been to lunch with you. You know which one I'm talking about, don't?
What? There's like, there she go, one apple spoiling the bunch. There's like
I didn't say he spoiled the bunch. I love him too, though. Don't make no mistake. I love him too.
Here's a question.
Poindexter and all. I love him too.
Please take over.
Hi, Kabaya.
Do you think, as the black women, we coddle black men?
Oh yes.
And I want to ask this question because unintentionally, because in the beginning of the year, somewhere in the beginning of the year, I came across a situation where I was with.
This sounds like asking for a friend.
I came across a situation where there was this black man that I worked with, and I don't know what happened that day.
I'm sorry, your side just took me. She said,
I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Let me tell you, I don't know what happened that day, but that was not a good day for him.
Oh.
This man proceeds to call me out of my name.
Oh.
And I told you about the situation because I was like, I don't know who y'all think I am, but let me tell you who I am.
She said.
But he called me out of my name. And honestly, for me, it was more of a, you're bugging, because I'm not gonna take this serious. Because if I take this serious, it's gonna be a real serious problem.
Right.
Called me out of my name, and I had to kind of do a little check-in because he apologized.
Okay.
I don't like apologies, and I say that I don't really care for apologies for many reasons, because I feel like certain people know what they're doing when they do it, and
right, and you feel like it's
true.
You feel like it's like an empty ass apology. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, I'd rather you just not say that. Like,
right, I don't really need that shit.
But
I feel you.
But he apologized.
Acknowledged his wrong.
Sort of.
Did he acknowledge his wrong? That's a yes or a no. So
and sort of is, you know how like they have that little meme like certain signs apologize this way, but if there's a but in your apology,
so it's not.
That's
apology.
so it's a sort of.
So this is.
I'm triggered.
I'm triggered too, because I'm sorry to cut you off. That's not an apology.
Exactly.
I'm all slamming.
So I'm like,
right.
He didn't apologize.
So when
he did a but. Let me show you why I did what I did.
In fairness, this was a while ago. So
this was a while
ago. I'm getting
Man, Miss Light's in here. She's like.
Because it's just like
what you mean, right? So when I contacted my female friends who had also witnessed this go down, one of my homegirls, LaDawn, she was like, I don't know if I should have put her out there, but she was but she was just like, nah, that's an empty ass apology, and that is something that would come from
my words. That's an empty ass apology.
That is something that would come from a person who knows what they're doing and has done this before. Not to call this habitual or whatever, but that's not a real apology.
It's not.
And I had to think about it, because I'm one of those people who's like, all right, you're sorry, cool, did that. Like, let's move on, because I'm not holding on to these things, and not to say that I've held on to that, but it's replayed in my mind where we're like, where I'm like, do we coddle the black man? Do we forgive too easily? Do we hold him down when we shouldn't?
I'm gonna say, I think as a society, we forgive easily because we were taught to forgive, like,
right, to kind of sweep it under
or
the rug.
conditioned to like forgive.
Right.
Obviously, you know, I don't want to be like, our oppressors, but just to our nature.
Just in general.
I think it's in our nature. I think it's embedded in us.
Because you gotta remember,
because we're like,
they go out there and society is already
because
hard on them.
we've been dealt the worst hand. So when shit happens to us, we're like, yo, honestly, my nigga, it's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we just see it as like, I'm gonna get through this, because honestly, it's not even that big of a deal.
And you also got to think about it. Us as women, we were also taught that the world is going to be
on his
his peace, not his headache, because the world is already.
I'm both.
Looking at it.
Listen,
I'm both. You know that meme with the crying and the laughing and the smiling.
Yeah.
That's me,
because
baby.
It was
all of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Just like, I hated that, because it's just like, yeah, you have it hard out there in the world, so you gotta come home and make it easy. Exactly.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember J. Cole's line, I love it when you give me head, I hate it when you give me headaches. First of all, that was a really good line. But furthermore, why can I get the headache and not get the headache? You know what I'm saying?
And it sucks because it's just like, legit, I don't know when the cycle breaks, or like when the age.
Honestly, I think no lie. I think it's happening right now.
Because I hate it. Like, I really like sometimes, like, my younger brothers, they were like
headaches.
Not headaches.
I'm like, man, where you going with this?
Not headaches, but it's just like, it's one of those things.
You a pain in my ass.
No, not a pain in my ass, but it's just like. No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, compared to a lot of their other friends, they had responsibility.
And what you had to deal with, or what they had to go through.
It didn't. And I look at other young boys, and I'm just like, you weren't taught this sense of responsibility, or this. Like, my younger brothers, they know ownership. And when I mean ownership, I don't mean ownership.
Like,
yes.
It was like,
they own up to the shit that,
yes.
And I look at other men, and I'm just like,
damn.
I don't expect
more
this
coddled men.
Yeah,
and I think we have to think of these things. Unfortunately, now our eyes are opening up to the cycles, what they are and what we won't do. You know how, like, we sit there and think, yeah, our grandparents had like 50 plus years under their belt, but What about
all of this was going on during those 50 plus
Yeah,
years.
what about
and
all
you're
that
expected to stay or sit through that or like endure that because it's the thing to
the
do.
norm?
Like, I know.
Right, and we're
I
breaking
know.
out of those cycles currently.
Yeah.
Because
I
you
agree.
hear about a lot of women walking away from the cheating, those things where we were taught.
like that Keisha Kayor meme, how she stayed with.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
honestly,
I should lie.
Every problematic phase, how she stayed and she held him down for 10 years.
Everyone has
Sorry,
their
y'all, it's the
different
wine.
stories.
It's not even that they have
Everyone has their different stories. Like why she stayed is up to her.
But I also want people to realize that Miss Kayor was set up to stay in a sense. Like when I mean set up to stay, granted,
I'm a grown ass woman.
Granted,
you go to jail for 1,000 years and I want to leave. I'm leaving.
No, but what I mean is he gave her a good little stack.
And I will give it to the banker. I'm
and
leaving.
And what I'm saying is, no, but what I'm saying is, y'all over here.
And they were
telling me
praising
to
her.
stay.
They're like, oh, she stayed. She flipped that.
Day
She
Day-
made a blah, blah,
Praise
blah.
the girl who's staying with Day Day in the hood for much less. And he's taking her food stamp card and WIC checks.
We as
Do you know
that's
Daddy?
I feel like that's a little different because we ourselves have to be accountable for what we put up with, and that's what I'm saying. Like the reason she stayed is up to her, and what she's
that's
reaping
what I'm saying.
right now
You can't
is
tell every woman, and that's what I'm trying to say is you can't tell every woman what to stay for.
right.
Because Keisha probably stayed because one, she loves him, but two, I can put up with this.
She knew when he got out, he'd be a
She's
clone.
Jamaican.
You're not telling
I don't think he's a clone. I'm just playing.
You're not going to tell
Talk
Shelly.
about
You're not telling
red drip
Shelly
like that.
and you can't. And this is what I meant. It's like
Keisha.
men. Listen, men. You're looking at Keisha saying, "Oh, she stuck by him and do all of that." There are girls in the hood doing what you're asking
Very true.
women to do for much less,
Right.
and that's why I feel like
Very true.
that's where the coddling comes in.
For a
'Cause we don't
title
walk
and
away.
a
We
Instagram
don't-
post.
We don't.
There are moments I don't.
Listen, no,
We're on
be
a-
honest. You walk away and go back at least 4 times before you fully done.
Maybe I don't know.
Not you. But
Depends.
most
It
women.
depends.
I was like, no.
most women.
I'm at a point where if I know that doesn't work for me, if I know that that's not something I'm putting up with, it's dead. It's
I know
gone.
so many
It's not
girls who
happening.
Of
say
course,
that.
of course. Like,
And that's something that comes with knowing your worth. That's
Right.
not
exactly.
a black woman thing. That's just
That's a general.
that
woman
comes with
thing.
knowing your worth.
Yeah.
Because if you stick around with the man who's cheating for years and years and years and
No,
years,
it don't even gotta be cheating. It don't even gotta be cheating.
could be whatever.
work related. Like
it could be whatever.
could
If
be-
you stick up for something that you know that you're not fully 100% happy with, that's on you. The reason you're doing it, no one's gonna be able to tell you why not, and how to move around it. That's on you. But as far as standing behind a black woman, behind a black man, when we should and when we shouldn't, it's like a teeter-totter. Because are we standing behind him when he cheats and when he's out here
Here's
trying
the thing.
to ride for us, or are we just standing out here when
But
he cheats?
this is the thing, and this is why I said it's one of those things where it's just like, I honestly feel like we stand behind him through whatever. Because you always hear the story about a woman who was there with a man while he had nothing and she helped build him up. And then he was the one to leave.
And when he get on, he lit that asshole white girl.
And he's the
Get
one.
down, Kanye, go ahead.
He's the one to
I
leave.
love
And
you
that's
so
why.
much. Why are you doing this?
And that's why I say it's like we were taught to essentially they were coddled by their mothers, and then they get into the relationship with the woman and they're coddled essentially because it's just like they're so used to being mothered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
And
mean?
then we have to play
You're
that
gonna
all
hold
again.
me down while I build myself up. And this is not all black men.
It's
No,
not.
not
It's
at
just
all.
not.
But
Not
most
at all.
because
But
most
the
of them they're gonna look at
stereotype is that. That is
Yeah.
the
That's
stereotype.
that's a big stereotype that
That
they're
is-
bums or they're not
Not
bums,
even that
but
they're
like that.
bums.
but like they're
Not bums, but like
they're
moochers
codependent.
are coddled. Yes, like
They're
moochers
very-
coddled,
codependent.
like, you know.
and they do no wrong.
and then they look at you when you do your heart on it. Oh, I don't need another mother. Da, 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 da. Or you're gonna leave
do.
me. Such and such stayed by her man for such and such long.
I
Why
love
don't you?
Why don't you go
Go
be
get
with such
such
and
and
such?
such.
Why don't
And
you
that's the lie.
why don't you ask them if you can be polyamorous? Because I'm leaving. pink.
And on that
What? Like
on
what?
that note-
Here's my final question.
On that note,
The hell?
Oh, okay.
Damn, what they doing over there?
Right, I don't give a damn. But
Oh, she buses open on Tuesdays. That's wonderful. I only do it on Wednesdays and
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thursdays.
Go ahead. Take control.
here's my question for you ladies. And of course, there's going to be a part 2. We're going to have some guys weigh in.
You
But
You bringing the ninjas into
I'm
the
bringing
the
some
dojo?
ninjas in here. I'm bringing some ninjas in here because I don't like saying things without people being there to defend themselves.
Amen.
I thought you was about to bring up the Dave Chappelle. I don't like people playing on my phone.
I don't like that either. Don't call me. But here's my question to you ladies.
All right, go on. Shoot your shot.
Do you think, I do shoot my shot, do you think black men need to do better?
Yes. I think everyone needs to do better.
Boom.
That's
I was
because
going to
the
say yes,
question
but we
is-
all
I
do.
think-
Like, I don't
No,
think
but
it's
I'm not gonna say black men don't need to do better and black women need to do better. I think we all need to do better.
Right, as a collect, like
I'm holding
in
us all
general,
accountable.
yes,
Yes.
that was my answer too. Because I was about to be like, yes, but we all do.
All need to do better.
Like, it's not a focal point for just one category of people. Like,
All us motherfuckers gotta do better.
and the other thing is, I'm finding that, like, I feel like when people try to place roles on what a woman does and a man does and etc., I feel that they're shifting. I feel like society feels it's shifting. I saw several posts today on my Facebook talking about when are men gonna be men again and women gonna be women again.
Right.
I'm like,
And
what
I'm
does
like,
that
what does that
mean?
mean?
Like, what does that mean? Because
Because
You know what I
you
want
can
us
cook, right?
You know
Oh,
what
I
I
can
want
cook
us
too.
to
You know how to
research?
clean?
you know what I mean? Like,
You know what I want us to do to prepare for part 2 to this episode?
cook? No.
No, research the divine femininity and the divine masculinity,
Okay.
because there's a such thing as
About Georgia Wolf?
Wait, quick question. Wait. Are we allowed to tap into both?
That's the whole purpose of it. You're supposed to have an equal balance of both. And what happened is,
Because Sierra
back
said some
in the
crazy
day,
things. I don't know.
listen, back in the
Fantasia
day,
said some crazy things.
because that's the thing. Back in the day, men were more masculine, and they felt like if a man had too much of his divine, that's the thing. When you research it, you'll be like, okay, when a man had too much of his divine femininity, that's what that's what it was seen as. But no, he's just in touch with both sides. So when you find
What's
a man,
wrong with that?
when you find a man,
Isn't that metrosexual?
Yeah, that's all
when you
it
find
is.
a man,
Did we
who has-
I
forget that?
mean-
Can we call the LGBTQ community?
when you,
There's an M.
okay, guys.
Okay,
All right, I'm
fine.
done. Because I'm trying to have a serious
Oh,
point
go
here.
ahead.
When you have a man who has an equal balance of his divine femininity and his divine masculinity, there are no such things as gender roles. Because he's
I
okay
believe
with doing
that.
both.
I believe
Right.
that.
And I feel like that's the shift right now. People
I
don't
also
want
think
that.
that there's a certain degree of, even if
Sure.
you,
Because it sounds like,
She just said she's seen a whole bunch of posts about men saying men go
Yeah,
back. to
but
the
that's-
men.
but women too.
And women-
But I've seen both on my time. Like,
Right,
men,
so it's like
like
people
women
don't
literally
really want
saying,
that.
"You want me to be more feminine? You better be more masculine." And I've seen
Like, you
men being
better
like, "Yo,
provide."
ladies out here is way too rough. Like, y'all, what happened?" Like,
And where's the balance?
and it's just
when you-
like,
it's
well,
like
first of
people
all,
don't want the balance anymore.
I've been rough for a long time, but
this is me.
you know what I'm saying. But also, I just, like you said, I think that right now where we are, like right now, present day, I think that there's a lot of play up on society and there's a lot of play up on like roles and what's masculine and what's not, because there will be people that will literally assume your man is gay because because he's like able to do a particular thing with you, like because he paints your toenails, or because he will
Wash
comp-
your hair.
Yeah.
or
get a
over
manicure,
or over
pedicure.
compliment you and be like, yes, and yo, you look good as shit in
Right.
that dress. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't like the way you said that. You know, it's just certain things. It's like, yo, but why? Why does it matter?
And
I
that's
thought,
where
why
they-
haven't we been able to get to the
And
point
that's
where we're
a
just
man
comfortable with
who's-
each other? I'm
and that's
comfortable
a
with
man who's just
himself.
comfortable.
I love a man that has acceptance, that can do his thing,
I love a
like
man who can have a
Yes, he is.
conversation
with anybody and be
without
like,
having to be like, oh, pause.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
Right? Like, come
Like,
on, dude. Like,
you just ruined this whole
we joke,
conversation.
like we can joke or whatever, like we can joke about that, because I can be ignorant, I can joke around and be like, oh, pause, or I can be like, oh, guys, that's gay, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, not to be like on some like cheesy shit, but the real definition of gay is
Happy.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'd be like,
and
oh, you
queer
guys.
is weird to be different. So
You know what I mean? Like, so I just feel like it's been taken like way out of context and it's way over the top. And like, I think that everybody can do better. I think that everybody just needs to scale back and take a chill pill. I think that people are really, really riding themselves and really, really adamant about placing titles and who they're gonna be and what they gotta be and where they gotta be, when they gotta be. Like, I just think everybody just needs to take a big ass, nice chill pill. Like. You said fuck it all, right?
Yeah,
I was like a nice bottle of fuck it all. Like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, just enjoy yourself. Like, be cool. I know that, you know, black men are going through things, and so is fuck everybody, but so are the black community.
Black women.
And like
the whole minority.
we do a better. You know what I'm saying? We do a better job. Just being cool.
We just
like,
hold it together.
Figuring it
a
out
lot
together.
better.
Like,
Because I have had about 4 Britney Spears meltdowns this year, and I just don't know how to process. I don't know how to process.
She's
That on
4 Britney. Is this before or after the retro? Well, honestly, the whole summer was damn near in retrograde, so there's that.
I don't know.
Ma'am, you're pregnant. You don't know what's going on. It's all right. And
I'm just trying to figure out, were we privy to these meltdowns?
I don't know.
No, I'm a Virgo. I keep it.
I'm about to say,
keep it
like I
really
told y'all a
well.
couple of episodes ago, that unhealthy coping, it was like you have a burst of like crazy meltdown, and then you whoa.
Listen,
Yep.
Pull it together.
Cry for 5 minutes. Like,
You know what I'm
what?
saying?
You're fucking right now. Hold on.
About 10, and it's a hard cry, and you get it out, and you like it's everything you needed, your whole soul. Like it hurts in your chest, and then
I let it go.
Clean it up.
It's like a balloon. So I just like kind of.
I only cry when I watch that at home. Or the Players Club.
Day after day.
Or the Players Club.
I was gonna sing back into it, but that doesn't seem sad.
Yeah.
I only came here to dance for y'all. That's it.
Anyhow, all right.
Junior needs guidance.
Yes.
Honestly, I hate that man. Every time I see tangent. Every time I see him, no matter what role he plays, I instantly be like, you raped Ebony. I could never.
Junior needed
You know what I mean? Like, and he could be playing like a good role. He could be like playing like a florist. You know what I'm saying? Something that doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm like, you probably.
Guidance. I didn't come here to dance. I didn't come here to do that. I just came here to dance.
And then he said, yo, tell your cousin, no, do me, no. Like,
that was ice cute.
Anyways, guys.
That was ice cute.
We do need to do better. They need to do better. We do need to do better.
Well, black men don't cheat, and that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway that you guys need to.
Yep.
We didn't even get into that.
Black men don't
All right, that's part 2.
Sure.
And on that note, guys.
That's your problematic. Oh, is this your wine glass? Is this my wine glass?
Can I have
Bye,
And
y'all.
on that note, thank you.
Have a good night.
Episode.
Thank you for joining us on
Bye-bye.
another episode of Talks with Wine. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share,
And do all those fun
all that
things.
good stuff.
You know
You
what I'm
know,
saying?
take a listen, let us know.
Ice me out.
Okay.